Let me say something that might frustrate you, but you need to hear it. Hormones are not the reason you're still sick. If you've been chasing hormone treatments thinking that's the answer, this is exactly where people get stuck. Because you try the thyroid support, you try the adrenal supplements, maybe you even go on bioidentical hormones, and for a little bit you think, okay, maybe this is finally working. And then what happens? You crash again, or it plateaus, or it just stops working, and you're sitting there going, why does nothing stick? And what I'm about to explain is the part nobody tells you about hormones, and once you see it, you won't look at your body the same way again. This is where it gets exhausting because you've already tried. You didn't just sit around doing nothing. You've been proactive. You've done the testing. You've spent the money, followed the protocols. You've taken thyroid support and adrenal cocktails, cortisol regulators, progesterone, estrogen creams, testosterone, all of it. You've done it, and for a minute, it feels like progress. Energy goes up a little, sleep gets a little better, mood stabilizes just enough to give you hope, and then right back down. And this is the part that messes with your head. Because now you're thinking, do I need more? Do I need something stronger? Did I stop too soon? Am I just broken? No, you're not broken, but you are being pointed in the wrong direction over and over and over again. And if you ever felt like your body responds and then stops responding, I'm going to show you exactly why that happens. Here's the problem. The entire hormone conversation is backwards, completely backwards. The health space treats hormones like they're the starting point, like they're the cause. Like if we just fix your hormones, everything will fall into place. And that sounds good. It sells really well, but it's wrong. Hormones are not the problem. They are the response. Let me say that again, because this is where people miss it. Hormones are not the problem. They are the response. Your body is adjusting hormones based on what it thinks is happening. Stress, inflammation, infections, toxins, energy problems. Your body adapts. And what does it use to adapt? Hormones. So when someone says your hormones are off, that's not the root issue. That's the body reacting to something deeper. But instead of asking, why are the hormones off? The industry says, let's just replace them. Let's just boost them. Let's suppress them. And this is where people get stuck, because if you don't fix what the body is responding to, your hormones will never stabilize long term. So here's the shift, and it's simple, but it changes everything. Stop asking, what hormones am I missing? Start asking, why is my body adjusting my hormones in the first place? That's the real question. That's the question nobody's asking. That's the question that actually leads somewhere, because your body is not stupid. It's not randomly failing. It's adapting. It's compensating. It's doing exactly what it believes it needs to do in order to survive. So when your thyroid slows down, when your cortisol is off, when estrogen or progesterone is out of balance, that's not failure. That's the body's strategy. Let me walk you through this in real life. And I'm going to say this a few different ways so it really lands. If your body is inflamed, it will downregulate metabolism. Why? Because healing requires resources. So the body slows things down. Now you go in and say, my thyroid is low, so you take thyroid support. Maybe it works for a bit, but the inflammation is still there. So what does the body do? It fights you, because from its perspective, you're trying to override a safety mechanism. Same thing with cortisol. If your nervous system is constantly stressed, your cortisol patterns shift. Now you take adrenal support. Maybe you feel better for a few weeks, but the underlying stress pattern is still there. So again, it stops working. This is the pattern. And I'm going to repeat it because this is where people miss it. You support the symptom, it works briefly, then it stops. Again, you support the symptom, it works briefly, then it stops. That is not failure, that is just feedback. And if you've experienced that cycle even once, your body has already been trying to tell you something. So let's make this simple, really simple. Your body runs on priority, not perfection. If something deeper is off, the body will adjust hormones to compensate, not because it's broken, but because it's protecting you. So if you have chronic infections, you have toxin buildup or gut dysfunction, if you have nervous system stress or energy production issues, your body will shift hormones accordingly, and then we come in and try to override that without fixing the reason it happened. And then we're surprised when it doesn't hold. That doesn't make sense. That's like turning up the heat in your house while the windows are wide open. You might feel warmer for a minute, but it's not going to last because the problem was never the thermostat. So what actually works? You stop chasing hormones, you stop guessing, you start asking better questions. You figure out, what is the body responding to? What is creating the need for this hormone shift? Because when you remove that, the body can recalibrate on its own. It's not forced. It's not overriding something, simply restoring. And this is why I see people who've been stuck for years start improving in months, because we're not chasing surface level signals. We're identifying the reason those signals exist to begin with. Here's the truth. It's blunt. If your hormone treatments keep failing, it's not because you haven't found the right one. It's because hormones were never the starting point. And if you're sitting there right now thinking, okay, then what is my body actually dealing with? That's exactly what I help people figure out. I don't guess. I don't throw protocols at you. I walk you through a forensic level investigation called What's Wrong with My Body, where we identify what your body is responding to, why things haven't worked, and what actually needs to happen next. So you can stop chasing things that don't hold and finally move forward. If that's where you're at, the link is below. And listen, if this speaks to you, if you've been stuck in that cycle, hit subscribe, because I'm going to keep breaking this stuff down in a way nobody else is. And share this with someone who's still chasing hormones, thinking that's the answer. Because this right here is where people stay stuck for years.